And so we've got a ton of stuff. It looks really good. And, you know, while I certainly wish we were in Orlando next week getting to meet face to face, this, because we moved online, it gives us an opportunity to pull from a much wider pool of talent because we can reach across the country. And we have, and it looks really good. News, sports, leadership, programming, management, you know, faculty advisor, all of those kinds of things are there. And of course, the ever popular sessions with our attorneys. And those are always fantastic. So with that, though, I'm going to turn this over to Stephen, and he's going to walk you through how you get on and how we're going to use this. So Stephen, thank you for all your hard work putting this together, because it is a ton of work.
Thank you, John. And again, thank you for Jessica, who's been working with me and trying to get everything up and running here. So we're using the same platform as we did last year, which is Attendify, for those of you who attended last year's convention. For those who are new this year, it's a platform that we also use for our app. When we're on location for the conventions, it helps to coordinate, give schedules, and plan things out. But they have a virtual platform where we're able to conduct our convention here. So I'm going to, well, one thing, let me back up first to start this. When you're registering, and for those who may have not registered yet or are in the process of registering, remember we need the emails for everybody who is registering. Otherwise, they will not be able to log in to the convention, because we are only allowing those who are registered to attend. So we need those emails so they can have the ability to log in. And so let me get started here. I'm going to pull up my screen.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my boss was saying that we could just use one email and then like everyone could get on off of that, but you're saying we can't do that?
No, if you try to do that, if you have multiple people try to log in with it at the same time, they're going to get kicked out.
Okay, thank you.
And whoever logs in the most recent will be the one. So we do need every email address on hand. If your supervisor is already registered, your advisor or whatever, and they haven't submitted names with emails, please have them send that to me ASAP or yesterday. So we can get you, I mean, technically we have till Friday, but the sooner the better. Make sure you're registered and ready to go. Okay, so once you get in, you'll, for those of you with the mobile device, you will go on to the Attendify app. If you haven't downloaded that, the sessions will be available on the app and on the desktop version. We will be sending out an email no later than Monday with all the instructions for logging in, so that you have a couple of days to log in before the convention starts. With this, you'll get the link to the platform here. And for those, again, if you download the mobile app Attendify, you'll go in and you'll search for CBI NSEMC 2021, and you'll be able to pull up the app and hit join and go through these similar steps. So you'll get the instructions no later than Monday, and they will walk you through how to log in and join and set up a password for you to use for the convention. Those of you who attended last year's convention virtually, your passwords and it'll be the same ID and password that you had last year. So you should be able to log in. If you have any problems, just try a reset and you should be okay. So I'm going to log in here. You'll come to this screen and you'll be set up. And we'll get logged in. And then here we go. You're on the main platform. As you can see, me and Lynn have already been testing things out. Thank you, Lynn. And one of the things you'll notice, and we'll go ahead and start with the speakers, is you can start and enter your practice room, and that you have a session. Apparently, I have a session here starting in 3 minutes. So if you're a speaker, you'll come here to your session, or it'll start here, and you can enter the practice room. And it's showing everything there. So I'll come in and I'll turn on the same stuff there. And there's my screen and I can begin. And for the speaker, you have a countdown here in the top corner, counting down until the session begins. and I'm getting, you're seeing me very large here. And then you have also how long until it ends. So if you come up here, broadcast begins, broadcast ends, and it'll count you down. Question?
Yes, for registering, do you recommend registering with our school emails?
It's all up to y'all how y'all register. If you're using the school email, you can. That's just fine. We just need an email address, and you just got to remember it. So if it's a school email is the best one, that's the one we'll use. So we have the speakers here. Speakers are taught, and then they'll get started, and we'll have the session here. And for those of you watching, you'll see the speaker here, except for you won't see all these nice little countdowns and everything, and you'll be able to see the speaker. And then you can leave the practice room, and I'll come out here. For those who are also speaking, there is a tutorial here to help you count down, whether you're a student speaker doing a roundtable or speaking on a panel. Use the tutorial, and that'll get in. If any of you students happen to be on a panel, I would make sure that you use the same email that you have given to Jessica that's been given to Jessica for your panel emails that you've been getting, so that you use the same one for your registration. That's one thing I would suggest. So there's your session. It's starting here in a couple of seconds here. And if you're coming here as a visitor, this is the window you're going to see. And I'm going to switch over here, and I'm going to go over here to this session here. This is one of the sessions we have coming up. And this is what you will see when you log in and you come to the schedule here. The schedule is a little clock here. You'll see everything, and you can go to your session. Now, some of the sessions, like our roundtables, are going to be Zoom sessions. So we don't have everything set up yet for that. We're finalizing our schedules, as John mentioned. And so it'll be here, and you can click in and log into Zoom, and you can either open it, see it in the window that it's there, or it'll come out wide in a separate window for your Zoom, for those roundtables. So you have your schedule here, and you have it each day, and you just scroll down, find what sessions you want to look at each day. And I'll try not to plug any of the sessions that I'm running here, so y'all don't feel the need to come and have to watch me speak too. Probably gonna get enough of me with this one. But you'll have your sessions. Let's go back here to this first one. So we've got this here. You can come over here as you look, it'll show who's in the session. Somebody else here, but you go in and you can type in, if you have questions for the panelists, you can type it in. Because one of the things about the sessions for the regular sessions here, to ask questions, you're going to have to type it in. It's not going to be there ready, available for you to jump in. So you will need to ask questions here, because the panelists will not be able to interact with you. Now on the Zoom accounts, those sessions where Zoom is in effect, you will be able to interact with your panelists or your roundtable moderators. You will be able to speak to them, and it'll be just like a normal Zoom meeting. Everybody will be able to talk when they're able to. But again, on the specific panels, it'll be limited to just the speakers talking to you and you asking questions in the chat here on the right. And you can also respond to others. You see others over there. We may put polls up in occasionally, and you may have some polls there to interact with. And we got to, okay. So for the roundtables, you'll be able to ask questions during the events. So for those who, so for roundtable, you can ask during the events. The sessions, just type it in as you go along, and the moderators, which will be usually one of the lead panelists or somebody from CBI, will look at the chats there and help to ask the questions and funnel the questions that are coming through the chat. But those are, again, through these Attendify sessions, which is what we have here, is an Attendify session. So you'll pretty much know the difference pretty quickly on, because you won't see everybody's pictures up there. You'll just see the panelists. Okay, another question here. In roundtables, it'll be like, oh, Jessica's open a regular Zoom session where everybody can see and hear everyone. And panels, you're only able to see and hear the panelists that are not the attendees.
Yeah, I was just answering the question, and I had already started typing before you said it. And then I was like, I'll go ahead and send it in case they're just looking at the thing, just to, yeah.
Right. Thank you, Jessica. So yeah, again, just to reiterate, 2 different types. You'll have your regular sessions, your panel sessions, where you'll type in questions in the chat. You'll only be able to see the panelists. Zoom will be just like every other Zoom. You can hear and see everyone and ask questions back and forth like we're doing here. Another thing you can look at is our speakers. You can see all of our speakers. Again, we're still getting some of the bios here, but you'll see the different speakers who will be attending and presenting, and you can message them directly if you have directly, or you can read more about them if you're curious to know which sessions. And when you go here to the schedule, like I said, we're still in the process of finishing. You'll be able to see who all the speakers are on each session, so you can look at their bio, compare their bios, and there will be links. Also, when the schedule is finalized, we'll have tracks here, so you'll be able to tell which tracks there are. If there's roundtable, if it's music, if it's video and TV, if it's first job, any of those, we'll have different tracks here that we'll be able to let you know. So you can, if you're looking specifically for, I know if there's video people, they really love to hit every video person. You'll be able to hit those good. When we'll be able to, okay, we plan to have the logins to you by Monday, so you would have it no later than Monday, so that by Monday and Tuesday you'll be able to log in and peruse the platform for you to get yourself familiar before the sessions start on Wednesday. And that way you can also kind of block out your schedule. You can kind of plan your schedule and know what you want to do. In the app, one of the things you can do is block out your schedule. You can plan schedule, you can hit favorites, you can filter and stuff. Also, I would recommend also downloading the app, even if you're going to plan on using the desktop for most of your convention, because in the app is how we rate the sessions. You can rate the sessions in the app, and we want you to rate the sessions. Let us know how we're doing and which sessions are good, so that if we're virtual again, or just or hopefully in person again next year, we have some more good sessions to bring you. That helps us a lot there. So please be able to rate our sessions. So you have your speakers. Yes. Thank you, Jamie. Yes, fire alarm off goes also having a, yes, that is always a cool, good thing. So again, you have your speakers. Here you have your sponsors. And you, as you can see, we have a number of sponsors here. One thing I wanted to show here, and this is this one's just a test sponsorship, but one of the things is for some of the sponsors, they will have Meet Now, whereas you can meet and talk to our vendors and learn about what they're offering. What will happen is, I'm going to turn mine on here. Give it a second and it should show up. Yes, if you're looking now over here on the session, there's a green dot down there by Viking Fusion, meaning that that is active now and there is a Meet Now. If you look for other dots that may be grayed out, those are other sponsors who will have Meet Now. So you can go in and you'll be able to click and go in and talk to them directly. There's a little button and you say, hey, I want to meet, and you can either message them or you can talk to them in person. They'll get a little phone call and they'll pop in, and then you'll be able to have a one-on-one meeting with them, and they'll be able to talk you through anything that they have or anything that you want to know about their particular business. So and that can be and then other ones you can come through on the sponsorship. You can read more about some of the different sponsors. They have links to YouTube channels. They have pictures, some videos. Let's see, there's a video here at Megatrax. So there's a number of sponsors here. You can kind of move around College Radio Day. So you can learn more about each one and go from there. Okay, in terms of this specific event, yes, what will happen is you'll get an email. It'll be the same email with login information by Monday, and it'll give you everything, the link to the platform, and guide you through everything and let you know how to. And once again, you have access to everything here. Is that helpful?
So, I just wanted to ask, is just so I don't get confused. When you said email, are you talking about the emails we registered with for this Zoom meeting, or is it a completely different?
It's the email you register for the convention with. So the email that is associated with your convention registration is the email we will send everything to. That way you'll get an email. It'll give you all the directions, the link to the platform. It'll tell you how to download and find Attendify and any other pertinent questions that you need to get logged in and get started with.
Okay.
Stephen, if I could just ask for
Yeah.
clarification. So let's say I signed up, me and then 9 students. And of course, for all those 9 students, I put in their emails. Each one of those 9 students plus me will get an email about how to do stuff, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And again, that's another reason why we have the registration in the registration is because that'll be the emails that'll be sent to you is through that email on file. It'll send you the directions and everything. And then also that's how we will communicate with you prior to the convention getting started. Dan, do you want presenters to go over the vendor info at the beginning of our panel? No, you won't have to worry about that. There will be a CBI board member, Dan, who will be there and will introduce the session and introduce the panelists. And we'll be there also for technical support as the session's going on, just like as we did last year. And if you're not checking the chat, Jessica has kindly put in the info to register. So if you haven't registered yet, or if you have other registration questions, please check that out as we go along. Some other things you'll be able to look at here is you have the activity stream. People can log in, tell us what you're thinking. If you have any questions along the way about the general convention questions or general convention problems or issues, you can put it in and get it going. You got your town hall, and you can see here's a live session window here. So you can see some of the live sessions coming in or some of the big ones, and you can come in and go straight to those sessions. And this is the main page with convention and some of our convention sponsors up here. Yes, Jamie, if you have a PowerPoint, words are hard here, you will be able to share your screen and share those PowerPoints during your presentation. And again, this is one thing I would say, if you're a speaker or on a panel and you're using PowerPoint or any number of things, again, I stress going into the practice room and testing out those sessions to begin with and make sure everything is working properly. One thing, it is recommended to use Google Chrome for the platform. That is the recommended browser for the platform. You may have issues if you're using Firefox or Edge or Safari or anything like that. So please be aware, try to use Google Chrome. It's the recommended platform for Attendify. John, it looks like you got a question.
Yeah, concerning the speakers getting on early, how early can they get on and test things out? Just the day of, anytime before, or is it open an hour or so before?
It is open right now until the session begins. So come again by Monday, we're going to have all the information to you. Go ahead and log in. Speakers, go ahead and log in, and you would have 2, 3, 4 days, depending on when your session is, to practice everything that you need to. So yeah, you can get in, log in early, and test things out. And Annabelle, yeah, audio is a little different because unless you have a platform or you have a computer set up where you can mix in everything in together. I know we had one panelist last year who does this type of thing all the time. So he had a system set up where he could speak and run his audio through the computer at once and be shared all at the same time. So if you have some setup like that, then yeah. Otherwise, you would need to play audio from a speaker or something from the speaker's computer and just have it up loud enough so it'll play through the screen. So just be aware if you are using audio, as Annabella mentioned, it can be problematic. So go in and test ahead of time to make sure it is working properly. Any other questions right now? No, okay. One of the other things we have here is community. So you can see the community of people who are here, and we've got Jamie and John, and so some of you all have logged in from previously and have already in. So great, thank you. That's awesome. So we got our community here, and this is for the community is the attendees. So the attendees are different from the speakers. Okay, so the attendee list is just the attendees are just those who are attending the convention, though there may be some overlap. And for some of y'all, I can go down here and yeah, see, here's my speaker profile, but it is separate from my attendee profile. So there's not some overlap there, but so you'll have kind of yourself on there twice if you're speaking and as an attendee. So don't be frightful of that. And unfortunately, there's no way to merge those together because they're set up separately. So sorry, can't help you there. But you can see your attendees here, and you can go in and I can go in here and send Annabella a message and say, hey, how's it going? Love your presentation, or hey, can we meet up later for drinks virtually and whatever else. So so those are some of the cool things you can do with this. So you can go here, and I can go here, and John or Jamie say, hey, Jamie, tell me more about this boyfriend of yours and stuff, and that we're learning about. Not to put Jamie on the spot or anything. So, so those different things that you can do there. And there's notifications up here. If you're getting messages, direct messages, you can check there. Here's messages, you can send messages. These are some old messages I have there. You can go in and edit your profile settings, and then for those speakers who might be Meet Now and stuff, that's for our sponsors. I don't think we have any of the sponsors on here at this time. So that's a general overview. I know I'm talking really fast here. I'm throwing a lot of information at you. So do we have any other questions? Do we have some other concerns that we want to address from those returning or those new, just to make sure where everybody knows where we're going?
Stephen, it's been a year, but obviously, and I remember some issues with logging on to the sessions last year, and basically you just kind of had to like refresh your computer and go back in. I know Attendify was like brand new at this time last year. Has that kind of been worked out?
Let me stop sharing here because you don't need to, you probably want to see me here. Yes. Okay. To our understanding, yes, those problems have been resolved. It was a lot to do with the newness of the platform, and they ran into some issues with the video getting started, and then it ended up working. They almost had to do a rebuild of their video side of things, and now that it's more stabilized. But refreshing is going to be one of those things to try to do. Sometimes, and even sometimes with refreshing, it didn't work out as well, and you have to log in. But one of the things I would suggest is do refreshing first and try that. But sometimes it could be connectivity that could be causing a problem. It could be just browsers having a bad day. It shouldn't be a volume issue. If anything, it's going to be connectivity on everybody's individual campuses. If you're having a bad day, it may cause some problems with your logging in. But from our understanding is the platform is stabilized now, and we should be much better off having that handled. And as Jessica just pointed out, we do have multiple Zoom accounts. So if it gets really bad, we'll switch over to some Zoom accounts to get the sessions if we have a lot of issues. And we did last year, we had a lot of issues. Hopefully it'll be much more stabilized. That's what they're telling us. That's what we're trusting in. But I believe it. I haven't had any problems so far when I've tried logging in. Right now it's worked smoothly. But that's right now just one person testing as opposed to everybody else. Any other questions or concerns?
How has registration been compared to last year? Well, I guess you can't really compare it so well to last year because of how we registered.
Right. It's a little bit different than last year. Registration, we're not as high up as I would like us to be at this point, but we still have Friday, and we know how everything goes, that everybody will register at the last minute leading into Friday. So that's one of the things that'll come in. But yeah, the deadline is Friday afternoon. So we expect the last second, everybody signing up. Anything else or any other anything specific else on the Attendify platform that you want me to go over with everybody or to point out, or questions or something that maybe I talked too fast over and you need me to slow down and go back over? No?
On the Google Sheets that you sent out, it wasn't us able to edit it for the Google Sheet for like the presenters, like with their names and everything.
I just fixed it. I'm emailing with Gabriella about that right now.
Thank you.
Okay. I think, well, then I'm going to assume that everybody's set and they'll be able to log in and we'll be all good.
One question just popped up. How close to final are the session times? Jessica, that's going to fall to you.
They're generally final, but not really, because I'm about to have to ask, like I just got a request to move one. So I'm going to have to kind of ask every domino in the line about moving, like, you know, can you trade for this one? Can you trade for this one? And yes, we do a set of instructions for pros. We send a special email to them that's like, here's your login information and here's how to get in there. It would be great if you have pro guests that are coming to your session specifically, just try to meet them in there a couple minutes early. A board member will be in there to help you, but it's, we're not the person that they know. You're the person that they know. So it would be great to have you a little bit early and them a little bit early. I know I email it in every message ever and I say, please show up a little early, please show up a little early. But I feel like sometimes I'm just like screaming that into a void. So just repeating it, please show up a little early, please show up a little early. So hopefully I'll be able to finalize the schedule today, tonight, or tomorrow. 10 minutes would be great. 5 minutes would be fine too. It's usually people who are showing up like 2 minutes after the start time who are not prepared and not together, so the earlier and the less, the more streamlined your problems can be, the better. So
one thing on that is to make sure that the emails that you have provided to Jessica, that she's communicating to you, that those are the emails that you log in with. So I know, Jamie, you are logged in as right now on the platform. We just need to make sure that that email is the same email that Jessica has for the speakers, so that you can log in as a speaker and be good to go. So I guess, Dan, that'll apply to you too. I think you're speaking on some of this stuff. So making sure that Jessica has your proper email, so we have it in the system so you can log in and be good to go.
So sorry, just quick question. That what you just said about showing up early, was that for the speakers or for the attendees, or both?
It's really for the speakers. Everybody, if an attendee tries to join early, if they don't have speaker credentials, you won't get to join until the presenter like opens the room. And no, we don't need your presentation beforehand, especially if it's a roundtable. Those are more like guided discussions. If there's something that you want us to post on our website, like a PDF of a handout or something, we can do that up front. But other than that, we'd rather just, bring it with you. And then if you want us to post it after, we can do that too.
Annabella, you had a question?
Yeah, the session that I have about podcasts requires sometimes people to verbalize, right, what they want to pitch, like an elevator pitch. And it would be different if we were doing this in person, because people can just raise their hand and just pitch it. In this case, they will be trying to write the elevator pitch, is what I imagine, on the chat, and we will react to it, right?
We can do that, or we can maybe set this one up as like a Zoom meeting instead, just so that everybody can see everybody, and it'll be more like this if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that would work really good, because it is an interactive, a very interactive sort of session. I do it in my class all the time, and it gets, it needs that, right? Like, you want to hear the tone, and it would take time, and people may not feel like doing that either. So if that could be done, that'd be amazing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would say any other speakers on here who may have some of the same issues, wanting more flexibility with question and answering, or being able to interact more with your attendees than what the session has, then I would let Jessica know, so that she can program you for a Zoom as opposed to a standard Attendify session.
And with that, Jessica and Stephen, the roundtables, those will not be recorded, right?
Correct. Roundtables are designed and set up for open and honest discussion, and we don't want anybody getting in trouble for anything they may unintentionally say. So yes, the roundtables are not recorded.
Yeah.
And then there are also specific sessions that are sometimes not recorded because some of our legal sessions are sometimes not recorded because of legal questionability. So they don't want to be seen as giving out legal advice and get in trouble when it's not actually legal advice.
And with that, the other sessions will be recorded, but it's not like they're going to be available the next day. It takes us a little bit to get them cleaned up and then made available. And
yes and no. There's some sessions we can put up immediately, but then there's some that we may need to clean up. If there's an audio hiccup or something that we may need to check on, we can do that too. There's a wide variety of things we can do.
okay. And next time Annabella joins us, she has an electric guitar in the background. I think next time you got to do a few riffs for us.
You don't want to hear from me. That was given to us when we attended the Latin Alternative Music Conference, which we attend every year. I can play by ear, but you don't want to hear me play. I'll get you some student to play.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, Juan had a question. That is for the speakers to come in and test audio beforehand. Attendees, you don't really need to worry about that. Just making sure that your computer audio is working and you're good.
Okay. So anything else? All right. So remember, registration closes this Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you get that in there because it's a lot of work for Stephen to do what he's already doing, and that adds many, many layers to it. But we've got a great group of presenters. Some of you are here, many of them aren't, and I think you and your students are really going to enjoy what's been put together. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and I look forward to seeing all of you again beginning on Wednesday with the actual convention.